Oh my goodness, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are all doing well. In today's video I'm going to be talking a little bit about my experience in Mexico so far. If you don't already know, I've been living in Mexico for about 5.5 months, and I moved here from Canada in April, I believe, when the border was closed, which it wasn't. And so far I've just been talking about my experience with traveling, etc. But anyways, let's get into the video. I had a lot of people asking if Mexico is really worth it, if they should come to Mexico, if they should move here, what have my thoughts been so far. And I just want to start off by saying, if you're thinking about doing it, if you're thinking about coming to Mexico, just do it. Just do it. You will not regret it, I promise. Do I recommend Mexico? 1000%. I've had many amazing experiences. I've met so many amazing people here. It's honestly been the adventure of my lifetime so far, probably like the most amazing thing I've done in my entire life. I couldn't possibly imagine like going back to the way I was living before. It really opens your mind up to so many different possibilities, and I feel like immersing yourself in another culture really benefits you in so many ways, and it just helps you to see the world from a different perspective. I have been so blessed to have had this opportunity to live in Mexico so far and meet so many amazing people. And I just want to say one thing, like, Mexican culture is so wonderful. The first thing that I want to say that I've noticed about Mexican culture is that Mexicans are so caring and loving. It is really refreshing to me, coming from like a northern Canadian community where I guess I was kind of grown up more, like I grew up more with tough love, I guess, compared to like Mexican love. It's just like totally different. Everyone here is so kind of caring. If you need help, anyone is willing to help you. These people are amazing and I love it. Also, another thing, when people go to hug you, they kiss the side of your cheek. And the very first time that happened to me, I was like, what is going on? Women and men do it. Everyone does it. It's normal. So yeah, there's that. So you're not shocked. That really freaked me out. Everyone goes in for like a full hug. I don't know if it's just me or my culture, but I swear Canadians only do like the bro hug. I have only ever done like a side hug. I've never kissed any of my friends on the cheek. I've never even given, I don't think I've given any of my friends a full-on hug except my mom and my sister. Like, even with my dad, I just give him like a side hug. Yeah, it's really like loving and touchy and expressive, and I like it. And people here are 100% honest and upfront. If they have a problem, they will tell you. If they like you, they will tell you and make it very obvious. Whereas like Canadian culture is just like people hide their emotions, and I don't like it, honestly. Like, people are always trying to impress each other or people please. Here, there's no people pleasing. People like do not give an F. They're just 100% their true authentic selves, and I love that about it. I love authenticity, and to be honest, being in Mexico has really helped me to embrace my own authenticity and to speak up my mind about things and just be honest and open with people. Whereas like before, I was so scared and I didn't want people to look down upon me if I didn't like something. I was like, oh, sorry, blah blah blah, like kind of belittling myself for expressing my own emotion, which is not okay. You need to be yourself, be open, be free. If people don't like who you are, don't surround yourself with those people. Another thing I love about Mexican culture is the family time. They're so family oriented. It's so beautiful. I know, I'm sorry if I get some of this information wrong. This is just from my experience and of what I've learned so far. So if you have anything to add on, please leave it in the comments. Or if you have anything to correct me on, drop it below to let other people know, because I'm so new to Mexico. First time in Mexico was in Cancun for a wedding. I didn't even like experience the culture at all. So basically the first real time for me being in Mexico was when I moved here, and it was an extreme culture shock for me. But now I'm not really shocked anymore. I feel like if I go back to Canada, I would be very shocked because I'm not used to it anymore. It's just a completely different way of living and I love it. Yeah, back to being family oriented. People are always with their families. You know, every Sunday, most people have Sundays off and they spend it with their family and they go to the beach together, or, you know, they go to church, or they do their own family thing. I don't think I've ever had like a weekly family event like that. It's so nice, you know, like to have a specific day every week where you spend time with your family and your close friends. I feel like Canada is more work structured, and I mean, yes, we do have family days, but it's not weekly. I mean, is it even monthly? I don't even know. We would have family dinners sometimes, but people were so busy. Everyone's go, go, go. And even on Sunday, people are working. And when I was at my parents' house, we rarely had one full day. Maybe in the summer when like summer holidays, no one's at school. My dad would actually be home for once because he's always gone working. We would have like a few family days, but other than that, not really until like Christmas. It's just crazy. And here is just like a weekly thing. It's so beautiful. And even like you go to the beach on a Sunday, it is packed with families, kids. The whole crew is at the beach. Everyone's enjoying outdoor activities, having fiestas. There's fiestas every single day. It's amazing. Everyone's just like celebrating life. Love it. And that's also another thing. There's literally a fiesta every freaking day. Why not, right? We're not just put on this earth to freaking work and then retire and that's it. We're here to have fun and make our life memorable. So why not have a little fiesta every day? Can't hurt. I mean, I already touched on this, but looking back at all of the times where I needed help, someone was always there to help me. Literally every time. It was a stranger that helped me. I just think that's Mexican culture of people just being so kind and caring. And I'm so grateful for everyone that has helped me. I mean, coming here by myself and not knowing much Spanish, I just practiced on Duolingo, so I didn't really know that much, and I used Google Translate. I had a lot of trouble here. Literally knew nothing, and I could always, like, even if I didn't ask, someone was there to like try and help me. People are just so kind and caring here. Oh, also, there's like a little quinceañera thing for 15-year-olds. I don't know, I thought that was really cool. I know there's like the Sweet 16 thing. I think it's bigger in the States than in Canada, but the girl gets dressed up, I believe, in like a dress, and her whole entire family is there, and it's a huge thing, and it's so beautiful. I just love it. I love all of like the family oriented stuff. It's amazing, you guys. There's so many cultural differences. There's a lot. Those are just things that I love. I know this, for me, this was a really weird one, is people stare a lot. Everyone says something to you when you walk by, like hola, buenas tardes, buenos dias. And for me, I was kind of shocked with that, especially with the staring thing. My first day in Mexico, I seriously thought there was stuff on my face or there was stuff in my hair because everyone was staring. And I was in a tourist area, so it was like, I felt super uncomfortable. It was like, oh my God, like, am I too white to be here? I was so self-conscious because everyone was just like, but I notice now that everyone just stares anyways. Doesn't matter. It happens to my friends and they're Mexican. They think that's just normal. Canadians don't stare unless they have a problem with people. So when you're walking down the street, you'll look at each other and then you just like look at the ground and keep walking. The odd time, I mean, and it depends on the community, but in some communities people smile and just say hi and keep walking, but most of the time, like my age group, younger 20s, mid 20s, people just like mind their own business. That's what I'm used to. And then coming to Mexico, everyone just stares you in the eyes when you're walking by, and you're like, I mean, at first I was like looking all over back and they're still staring at me, and I'm like, hi, and they're just like, hola, buenas tardes, and I'm like, oh, buenas tardes. I thought you were like angry at me, like what is this stupid white girl doing here or something like that. But people would just like make eye contact to say hi. That's normal here. Another thing that's really shocked me, I guess normalized here, is catcalling, or just men being very forward when they like you or find you attractive. I think I got catcalled one time in my entire life, and it scared the crap out of me. And this was like downtown Victoria. For people that don't know, it's on Vancouver Island, and it was at nighttime by a group of like older men, and it scared me so bad. I ran home so fast, and like, that stuff doesn't really happen in Canada. It's not really normal unless like you're at school and it's a joke. But for it to happen on the streets all the time, maybe in the States, but from where I'm from, that's never happened to me. So I'm not joking when I tell you, and I'm walking into town from any of the communities in Mexico that I've been in, people whistling or yelling or saying, "Hey sexy," or something like that, or honking happens multiple times throughout the day. Kids do it too. I mean, I just laugh it off. It's harmless. I've never felt uncomfortable before. I honestly just laugh because it's so weird to get catcalled. I've had kids whistle at me or just like stare at me and giggle. Oh my god, you kids are cute, but it's so different the way boys are raised here. I don't know. That's just one thing. And I noticed Puerto Vallarta is way worse than Los Cabos for catcalling. I was catcalled, and when I mean catcalling, I have literally been meowed at, I've been barked at, I've been grunted at, I've like had the weirdest noises made at me. Me and my friend is local, and it even happens to her too, and she's like, "What is with these boys?" But it just happens, like they just do it and they don't care. They think it's funny. I've had like a group of kids yell at me, and I'm looking and they're like, and then I start laughing and they all start laughing and like, "Hola, hola," like it's just a joke. But that was very, very, very shocking to me at first. I mean, there are a lot of cultural shocks. I just wanted to talk about some of the things that really stood out that I remember. You know, people not wearing helmets, or like kids on the back of bikes, or people in vehicles standing on the roofs, or like the police with guns walking around. It was a cultural shock at first, but I'm so used to it now and I feel very comfortable here. But yeah, the big takeaways for me were just how loving and caring and expressive the people are. Also, I have to throw this in here. The food, you guys, the food is so good. Be prepared to gain like 10 pounds when you get here. The food is muy rico. Mwah. I should definitely do a food tour one of these days, but before coming to Mexico, I haven't really tried like any authentic Mexican food. Like tacos made by Canadians, not Mexican tacos. So different, you guys. The food is so good, but it's also like really rich, like greasy or super sweet, but 1000% worth it. Even like prior to moving to Mexico, people were talking about the police and they're kind of scary with their guns walking around, or the Marines. I have never once felt scared or intimidated by the police or the Marines here. Honestly, feel so comfortable. You smile at people and they smile back, and you know, they're just doing their jobs to protect people and keep you safe. And there's been a few times where I've been stopped by the police, quite a few times actually, and it's always a silly thing. Nothing like serious. The first 2 times they lit up the siren at me, so they were just like being little flirts, and that was in Puerto Vallarta, of course. And I think that happened a few times, but nothing where I felt like uncomfortable. I just thought it was funny. And then in like Los Cabos, I've been stopped 3 times by the police, and they were more serious here, but they were just making sure I was safe. The first time I was with one of my local friends here, and it was late, like the clubs had closed, and we were just walking around and we were just waiting to get tacos. I think it was like 1 in the morning, or it might have been 12 or 1, but we were like walking to get tacos, and they stopped and asked for his ID and they asked for my ID, and I was like kind of freaking out. I was like, oh my god, I didn't bring my FMM, my tourist card, and I heard rumors of people saying that you need to be carrying it on you at all times because if you get stopped by the police, they could fine you and all these things. And I was like, oh no. It's in a safe, people. I don't bring my FMM with me. Other people will disagree and say you need it on you at all times, but that is your own. It's up to you what you want to do with that. And after they asked for my ID and I said I didn't have it, and then they left, and my friend was just saying they wanted to make sure that I was okay and that there wasn't any trafficking going on, because that could happen. So they were just double checking that I was safe and that he wasn't forcing me to do anything or anything I didn't want to, which is amazing that the police stopped and checked that he was who he said he was and that I was okay. The second time, I have no idea what happened. I was walking home, it was dark out, and they stopped, and there was like 2 of them, and they unrolled the window and they were like yelling at me really fast in Spanish, and I could only understand a few words because I just know like the basics right now. And like I can speak and ask for things, but when someone's talking really fast, I can only like pick up 1 or 2 words, and I was like and they kept asking, and I was like, lo siento, hablo un poquito español, no mucho. I only speak a little, I don't understand that much. And they were a little aggressive, like yelling at me, and I was just like, no say, I don't know. And I just like looked like this, was like and the guy yelling for 5 minutes, and he's like, ah and he drove off. Like, what the heck? They were like trying to get something from me, or they were like, I don't know what was going on, but they gave up and left. I thought it was funny, so I don't really know what was going on there. And then the third time, this was also in Los Cabos. I was walking home and it was dark out, and where I was living before I left Los Cabos was like the local area, way up in the back and on a dirt road, and it was really quiet out there. Kind of seems like it's in the middle of nowhere. So it was really nice and it was quiet, and I was just standing there in the dark because I couldn't really hear much except like the crickets, and I could see all of the stars, and it was so beautiful. And I'm just standing there like this, just staring. The police come out of nowhere and they're like, what are you doing, in Espanol? And I'm like, oh, just looking at the stars. And they're like, Monday? Like, what? It's like, I'm just looking at the stars, it's nice. And they're like, just stared at me and drove off. I guess it's weird. I like, a lot of my friends tell me like not to walk around at night because it could be dangerous and stuff like that, but to be honest, I've never had a problem walking around at night, and I've done it like literally every single night since I've been in Mexico. But I've also been in safe touristy places, so you just know when it's like safe and not safe. You just listen to your gut. If you have anxiety, you know, if it's like sketchy, don't do it. But where I was living, it was a nice area and the stars were beautiful. But yeah, they definitely thought I was weird because they were like and left. So, but it's nice. They check up on people and make sure you're doing okay. Anyways, that's been my experience. It's been amazing so far. And there's definitely a billion more cultural differences, but I can't think of any more because I feel like I'm pretty used to Mexico now. And I have nothing but amazing things to say about Mexico. So if you're wondering what it would be like to live in Mexico, and if it's safe, if culture is crazy, or you're not really sure how it's gonna go, honestly, just do it. What's the worst that could happen? I'm not gonna say that, but honestly, just do it. You only live once, and that should really be your motivating factor, because we always look at life like, oh, you know, I'll do it in like 2 years from now or whatever. But really, we don't know when our last day is going to be. And recently I heard a quote: if you knew this was your last week to live, what would you do differently? It really changed my perspective on things, because I'm a planner and sometimes I procrastinate. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do it tomorrow, I'll do it next week, I'll do it next month. But really, we don't know if we have tomorrow. We don't know if we have next week. We don't know if we have next month. So it's important to put your dreams and your goals first and just do it, because maybe it is the last adventure you take. We don't know. So we need to enjoy the time that we have now, and even if it kind of scares you but it also excites you, just do it. This is your reminder. This is your message. If you were thinking of something that you've always wanted to do but you're too scared to do it, but it's something that it really excites you, do it, okay? You will be so grateful when you look back a year from now and you're like, damn, I'm so glad I did that, instead of saying, damn, I really wish I did that. That is the closing scene to this video. Anyways, if you guys liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if you have any other things that shocked you when you came to Mexico, or maybe you went to Canada for the first time. Let me know what shocked you about my country. I'm curious. I hope you guys are all doing fantastic, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe below, and until next time, peace. All right, we're doing a little fan test. The fan is really loud and obnoxious, so hopefully you cannot hear it in this recording.